Ever get that feeling? You look out at your backyard and the patio is just, well, it's just there.
Kind of blah. Right.
Exactly. It's not bad necessarily, but you just, I don't know, you're ready for something more. But then actually picturing that something more, that's the tough part.
Yeah, it's almost like you hit a wall. You
Yeah.
know, you want to change, but the vision just isn't there. It's funny how sometimes we know we want something different, but we don't know what we want.
That's it. And this is what we're diving into today. We're looking at VizX Design Studios and their approach, all about helping people get past that mental block when it comes to outdoor spaces.
Right. So VizX Design Studios, they have this podcast, the Art of Outdoor Living podcast, and they talk about how they use 3D design to really help clients visualize the possibilities.
It's not just about thinking about a change, but actually seeing it, which, as anyone who's ever tried to renovate anything knows, that's huge.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, how many times have you heard someone say, "Oh, I just know I'm tired of this old deck," but then they struggle to describe what they want instead?
All the time. In fact, the Art of Outdoor Living podcast specifically talks about this. They say a lot of their clients come to them with just this general feeling like,
Make it better, but how do you even begin to define better, right? Some people have ideas, mood boards, magazine clippings, the whole nine yards.
but others are just like, it's a patio, it's old, fix it.
And sketches, which is sort of the traditional go-to, they don't always cut it. A flat drawing can only convey so much.
Yeah, it's tough to really get a feel for the space, the flow, how things would work together from a 2D image.
Exactly. And that's where the 3D stuff comes in.
So VizX, what they do is they create full-on 3D layouts for their clients. These aren't just like basic models. We're talking detailed representations of the space.
Oh, yeah, you see the materials, the textures, how traffic would move through the area. It's like a virtual walkthrough, basically.
And in the podcast, they give an example of how they presented different options to a client using this 3D approach.
One option had, let's say, the dining area right by the house. Very practical, very traditional.
But then they showed the client another option, one that really opened up the yard. It had a separate lounge area, the fire pit, all that good stuff. And it totally changed the feel.
It went from just a place to eat to a whole outdoor living experience. And I think that's the key here. Because when you can see it, when you can visualize yourself in that space.
It's not just about the individual pieces anymore. It's about how it all comes together.
Exactly. And the Art of Outdoor Living podcast talks about how this process really creates a shift for their clients. When they see that 3D model, suddenly they're engaged.
They start asking questions, they get excited
Yeah.
because it's real to them now. It's not just an abstract idea anymore.
I mean, think about it. If you're trying to decide between, let's say, a pergola or an awning, it's one thing to look at pictures.
But it's totally different when you can see how each one would look in your actual space, how it would change the light, the whole ambiance.
And that's what these 3D models do. They take the guesswork out of it. You're not just hoping it'll work, you're seeing it with your own eyes.
And making decisions based on that.
Mm-hmm.
And that brings us to, I think, one of the biggest takeaways from the Art of Outdoor Living podcast, which is that outdoor living isn't just about building something that looks nice.
It's about functionality, it's about enjoyment, it's about making the space work for you.
And these 3D visualizations, they really drive that point home because they help you see the potential before anything is built. You can actually experience the space, at least virtually, and get a sense of how it'll function, how it'll feel.
And honestly, it's not just about backyards or patios. I think this idea of 3D visualization, it can be applied to so many things. Think about like redesigning your living room.
Or even planning a trip.
Mhm.
What if you could actually see yourself in that hotel room or on that hiking trail before you booked anything?
Exactly. It's about making informed decisions, not just relying on imagination or guesswork. So here's something to think about. What's an area in your life where a clearer picture, a 3D model even, could really help you make a decision?
Where could you benefit from actually seeing the possibilities before taking the leap?
Food for thought, right?
Definitely.
So the power of visualization. Pretty amazing stuff.
Definitely something to keep in mind for all those make it better projects we dream about.
Absolutely.
Thanks for listening.